All right. Hello, all. It's Annie here from Caffeine-Free Live, and my sweet friend Mandy from Texas
Hello
is
again.
here with me, and we are here to support all of you caffeine quitters out there around the world. So warmly, warmly welcome to this live. So we did do yesterday one of these Q&A live, question and answer live, but we just wanted to do one more just for you. So you can just come here if you didn't make it here yesterday and ask more questions. And then Mandy has also some good stuff, good information as always for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit from yesterday, stuff that I just didn't talk
Yes.
about that we already kind of talked about. But I just, I saw that comment and that someone missed our live. And so I just wanted to maybe if they were able to
Yeah.
be here today. So,
Yes.
and plus, I'm just watching the little doggy. You can see her back there. I don't know if it's kind of dark.
Yeah, I see a little bit.
Little schnauzer.
Little
So I'm
schnauzer.
just chilling, relaxing. So I was like, hey, let's
Yes.
do another live today. So
That's so
hello,
nice.
everyone.
Hello.
Yeah.
And I will put the chat open so it is working and everything should
And I got
work.
my smoothie.
Yay. What do you put in your smoothie?
Mm, pretty much, I should probably change it up, but I pretty much put the same thing every day because it's just easy and I
No.
like it. But protein powder, water, frozen blueberries, sometimes I freeze the banana if they're getting too ripe, and then avocado.
Yes, I love that.
And I think I have a little bit of what's the neurotransmitter that's for the it is a neurotransmitter. I didn't know it was a neurotransmitter for forever. I'll think of
No.
it. Uh, Histamine. I think I do
Hista.
get some histamine issues sometimes with certain things. I mean, I know it's part of
Yeah.
recovery, but it comes up at certain times in my cycle, which is really interesting. So I
Before
know it's part of
periods.
healing.
For me, it's
Yeah, it's
before.
like a inflammation, but it's about healing, like we
It's
know.
it
So
is healing,
like I can
detoxing,
feel it in my
revive.
throat. I could tell yesterday with my throat. My husband can, he really can see it because he sees the difference from like when it ends and when it starts. He's like, your throat's doing that thing. I guess it's like that verklempt. Some people, from Saturday Night Live, when Mike Myers would do the New Yorker, and he's like, "Oh, I'm getting verklempt," because
Yes.
they would get emotional.
Yeah.
But it's really just, I think it's part of a little bit of leftovers from the anxiety.
Yes, I
But it's
I
better. I mean,
think.
it doesn't bother me. It used to be a lot worse. Like you could really tell I had like a frog in my throat or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just noticed it, and it's fine. Like something I wanted to say for people that especially have fallen, quit caffeine and fell off the mountain and got really high anxiety is that I just wanted to say, and I'm sure I've said it before, it's like whenever you're going through a symptom, just to tell yourself it's okay to not be okay right now. As long
Yes.
as you went to the doctor and you got checked out, you're good, you've got anxiety. It's just symptoms. It's just healing.
Yeah.
It's just time, and that it's okay. So like I've said that to myself in the past, like it's okay to not be okay. And then, after a few hours or a few days, however long it takes, then it's gone.
Yeah. It comes
Um,
and it goes always.
it
Whatever
comes and it
symptoms
goes.
are, they comes and goes.
Yeah, let the symptoms come and let the symptoms go because I always do. I mean, there are people, I do want to be careful how I say that because there are people that say that they have symptoms constantly, like
Yeah.
the
Yes.
constant, but that is just the way their body is healing and that will go.
Yeah, because even with benzo withdrawal, there are people who have their brain and body heals in that way that they don't have a windows. They just have a constant symptoms going
Yeah.
on, and then they get better. And then there are people like us that it's more a little bit like more wave and windows. Wave means that you have
Yeah.
more symptoms going on, and window can be that you are not without symptom, but you are functional. You function better. You feel a little bit better. Symptoms are less. And
More
window can
relief.
also be just a moment. So just remember
Yeah.
that, guys. Window is not necessarily like days or weeks being without any symptoms. So
Right.
anything is healing. Hi,
Yeah. I
Jaakko.
mean, I've seen that with benzo and caffeine or any recovery. Even I think we talked about this before when there's a lady that the green stuff, what's it called?
Kratom. Yep.
Kratom. There's a few people on YouTube that make videos that have got anxiety from quitting that,
Yes.
or just got tolerance withdrawal, fell off the mountain from that.
Yeah.
And they were saying that, it's just the symptoms like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I forget what I was saying. No,
worry.
So I'm just saying that with caffeine, with benzos, with whatever type of anxiety that someone gets, that you can have either, I mean, it just depends. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's caffeine or it's benzos. Like it just depends on the individual if they're going to have windows and waves or if they're going to be like a straight all the way.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily, it's not just to benzos or just to caffeine. Like it just depends on the individual. If you don't have windows and I just wanted to give that reassurance that if you don't have windows and waves, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Or if you only have it continual, or you have many, many windows and waves, like no matter what, that's just the way that individual's body is recovering.
Yeah, and our nervous system is reacting a little bit because we all who have fall off the mountain, we have sensitized nervous system during this. It's dysregulated. Yeah. So that's why we are so sensitive to stress that we cannot take any stimulation. For example, watching TV can be too much, showering, all this. But some people, like for you, Mandy, you don't nap. Like you don't nap, take naps, but I have to take, like it's also different, it's individual, that some people they have to nap every day. I still nap, but your is different, like your nervous system
maybe 10 times I've napped 10 times, but not, and I do like it. So there's so many things can be so similar, but if there's different things, and then in the beginning you want everything to be, people that are going through this, they want everything to be so similar because then that makes you feel better, that reassurance. And I understand that people are grasping for that, but it doesn't mean that it has to be the exact same, because your body is your body, but your body's going through the process the way. And I did want to say, because yesterday I kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I don't think that I completely finished. Whenever we do have something to I was kind of saying it every now and then I have something to like revel in it, because whatever we're going through, or if something is coming back up, then that means that it's there for a reason. It's going to keep coming up to teach us something, or because it's that cycle of healing. And I just love that because it's there for a reason.
Yes. Hi, Yuppie Star. Yuppie says that greetings to Finland and America. You both are wonderful. Thank you, Yuppie Star, and keep up
red,
the good
white,
work.
and blue.
Yay! Yes.
I can tell. I'm feeling like it's rainy here, and I'm just feeling it's been rainy, like I said yesterday. I'm just kind of feeling, I don't know, like lazy bones.
Yeah, we too. We have a dark also almost all day. It's a very short time that we have a light, but I'm just so excited, and I'm just so excited to, like, I don't have that, what is that, winter depression or anything, or they say that you should have tons of vitamin D in the winter. No, not having anything, and still you can have energy. So it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Supplements are bullshit. That's my opinion.
I mean, I have not taken any vitamin D. I haven't checked my blood. I haven't checked it yet. See, I do get distracted. So now I just pulled up the YouTube and I see that. I don't know if I should look at the comments, because then I get distracted.
No, you don't have to. I can read the comments. So I can be the instructor of comments.
Yeah, because if we're both reading it, then I get.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah. So for my vitamin D, it was pretty low. But here's the thing. If we have anxiety and we're not absorbing nutrients before, like let's say before on everything, that's why our vitamin D that's why our vitamins are low, our minerals are lower probably because we're really not absorbed through our intestines and stuff. We're
Mm-hmm.
not absorbing.
Yeah.
And then when we quit, slowly we naturally start to get it from food.
Yeah.
And when I was in the wave 2 years ago, which was my 2.5 year mark, I got my blood checked and I had not taken any vitamin D supplements. And my vitamin D was already up 9 points from what it was previous. And I haven't had it checked in 2.5 years. And I think in February, I'm going to go get a woman's, and because I didn't have one last year
Yeah.
or the year before. And I'm going to get it checked. And I'm curious to see that my vitamin D is a lot higher because I was in the sun all summer this summer,
Yeah.
and in the shade, but still getting that rays and stuff, and also we get it through our eyes,
Yes.
and then watching morning sunrise and sunset and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
so
really
it's
think that
interesting.
we should like that's the most natural way, just from the sunlight and the food and
And the food,
body when you are not putting poisons in your body knows how to take the nutrients from the food. It really knows. And for me it was weird. I haven't checked my vitamin D now for a while, but I did check it like I think around my 2 years and or after that when I had already quit all the supplements and it went up without the
yeah,
supplements, just quitting caffeine.
I
My
know.
blood tests were just good. So
I believe it. I believe it.
caffeine is a hell of a drug.
I am kind of reluctant to go to the doctor because I went, that first 4 months and in the wave, I went to the doctor more than I'd probably ever gone in my whole life
Yes.
accumulated.
Do you want to tell
And
something
so
about what test did you take? Because
it's a
you
little traumatic for me. Oh
yeah,
my
you don't
gosh.
have to. You don't have to share.
No, no. I mean, I'm just saying, like going to the doctor
Yeah.
to get the blood work when I do go in February, it's going to be I might feel a little apprehensive. I don't know because I had gone through so much
Yes.
behind it. But so I went to the doctor. I went to like a PC, just like a regular doctor. He did blood work. He's like, you're fine.
Hmm.
He wanted to put me on pills, he's like, you just have anxiety. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was just confused. I'm like, no, I've always had a little anxiety. I was like, this is different because I didn't know, we talk about that. I didn't know the different levels,
Yes. Mild,
mild,
moderate.
moderate, extreme, and panic. I was
Yeah.
literally in panic. Like he could tell it because I was like shaky, I was like fidgety and he could just tell the way I was talking and I was just really worried. I probably was more mild, moderate, extreme. I was probably in between extreme and panic because I was able to at least go to him. It got more intense than that. But and having panic attacks while driving, that is the worst.
Yes.
But
That's for sure.
I went to him, I went to another PC. Then I started going to like alternative
Hmm.
doctors, and I had a lot of different tests done with this one. Well, yeah, I had two alternative doctors. One did like a muscle testing on me. I was so confused. So confused. And I remember talking to her one day. I was like, "Oh my god, I feel like I'm here with you right now." I was like in total DPDR.
Yes.
Like as we were talking, she was so sweet. I started calming down. I was like, I don't know where I was. Like I know I was talking to her, but I felt out of body or whatever. And then I was like, I feel like I'm actually really, really here with you right now. And she was just still looking at me like, oh, really? Like she was so nice. She was probably thinking like this cuckoo. But no one ever said, oh, that's DPDR. Like
Yes.
no one was ever like, oh, you're just having anxiety, which is, and then now, and that is the DPDR, derealization, depersonal. That's part of under the anxiety
Yeah.
umbrella.
Yes.
When I told one, I would see therapists on the phone, counselors, and I told one lady about my intrusive thoughts. I told her one thing, and she was like, oh, she just said that's not your subconscious. She's like, that's your subconscious. Like, that's not really you. That's all she could say. She didn't even say, oh, those are intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Like the amount of how these professionals, even the white coats or the more holistic practitioners, I went to chiropractors, I went to acupuncturists. I spent because here in the States we can have insurance,
Yeah.
and so white coats go under insurance because I call them white coats because they can write prescriptions and give you, drugs to help you. And then
Mm-hmm.
the more holistic practitioners, you have to pay them. You have to pay them out of pocket. They don't go under prescription because they don't go with pharmaceutical. They don't go the pharmaceutical route.
It's
But they do
crazy.
try to push supplements. So I bought like
Yeah.
$500 worth of supplements from one of the acupuncturists. And I'm probably missing a few doctors, but it's just so interesting that no one, and I told people, I was like, I quit caffeine, I quit alcohol. And as I was going to these first doctors, I wasn't even really aware of caffeine yet. I just thought, I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Yes.
I hadn't really, really figured it out until I watched Cato's videos and got into the
Mm.
quitting caffeine group around my 5 months. I was like, oh my God. But then I figured out anxiety, and then I figured out the trauma stuff, which is still under anxiety's umbrella, I believe. So
Yes.
it's just all the body and the nervous system calming down. And, but yeah, it was just so unfortunate that no one could tell me, no one could calm me down and say, oh, those are just symptoms of anxiety. Even the anhedonia, all of it. So scary.
Yeah.
No doctor, no professional could tell me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are some out there, but the ones that I went to didn't
Yeah.
know,
So
weren't
little.
aware.
And all the pains and all
Yeah.
the neck tightness, all that, all the like
Oh yeah.
inflammation in the brain, it's all rewiring,
Couldn't
part of the
even.
anxiety, all the brain zaps, electric feelings in the brain, blurry vision, it's all part of this rewiring process when you go through these anxiety
Blurry.
symptoms.
I would be
Yeah.
on the computer doing my schoolwork, writing a paper, and I would have those eye floaters, the visual snow, and I would just laugh because I finally got some awareness, thankfully, and was like, okay, it'll go away, and I would just laugh, like, because it was so bad. It was like snowing on the screen or in my eye, in my head.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, neck tightness.
not
Oh,
able to think clearly. Many people ask me that, Annie, is it normal that after quitting caffeine, is it being dumb a symptom? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's actually it feels like that it can. First, it was for me it was so horrible. I went to doctor in my. I went only 2 times in this, but I was around like 15 months that I went to take my blood test, and I had so much anxiety that I did faint there. So when I faint there, the nurse came to me and say that, oh, you did faint. Do you want a coffee? And I was like, I have to
oh,
get
I
hell
remember.
out of here. Like that was what they were asking. And the doctor was like, I said that this hell started after I quit caffeine. Not right away, but after a few weeks. It take a little bit after a few weeks before it really started to hit in. And the doctor was just then, maybe it's you to best to go slowly back on caffeine. I was like, no way, never. I never touch that poison again. And yeah, my blood tests were okay. Then I have that terrible thirst. I didn't know that that's part of the anxiety too, like that you have hell of a thirst all the time, dry mouth. I just tried to beginning take some kind of electrolytes, but I didn't quit those because I knew that it doesn't gonna help. I tried lemon water, I tried salt water. It was all anxiety.
Yeah,
And like guys, it is
same.
anxiety, really, what
Yeah.
you're going through.
Yeah, I felt like I was so dehydrated. I was scared. And especially, after this, in the tsunami wave, because I hadn't felt it that intense since the first 4.5 months. Went to the doctor again because I didn't go anymore after I found Cato's videos. I stopped going,
Yeah.
and I just trusted the process. But then, because I didn't know that some people can have a tsunami wave, and
Hmm.
because not everybody does, I don't think, but many do. We're
Yeah.
finding out that many do.
Many do. Yeah.
And I had went back to the doctor, and then at that point, I knew more about caffeine. I knew more about anxiety. I knew more about everything, but I was still very, very scared. And that's when I got my heart. I never had a EKG, and that's when I had finally got my heart tested, and everything finally came back fine. There was a little blip on it at first because I was so anxious, and then that scared me. And then they had to do another test, and I was like, oh goodness. And I was carnivore. I know I've talked about that before because I
Yeah.
was carnivore, and I was really worried, and everyone was worried. But then the next test came back. The ultrasound came back fine. And as the technician was doing my heart, I was like talking to him. I was like, does everything look okay? Does everything look okay? And he was like, he goes, well, this gets taken to the doctor, but she'll let you know. And I'm like, yeah, but your professional opinion? He's like, yeah, everything looks good. because I needed to know, we need that reassurance
Yes,
in the moment
very.
immediately. I was like, can you just tell me if it looks normal to you? He was like, yeah.
Yes,
So yeah,
Yuppistar
but then
asked the first year I couldn't even go to the doctor because I couldn't wait in the waiting room because of anxiety. Yes. Yeah, I feel that.
yeah, yeah, I know. I don't know how I did. I was just so determined to figure out what it was. So I didn't know what it was, that I was in the waiting room. And this, for me, it was the beginning of COVID. For you too, right?
Yeah,
It
2020,
was
18
yeah,
April of 2020.
2020, and so COVID was like everyone had to wear masks. I hated it. I couldn't, having to wear that thing and then go into the doctor's office. So I remember just sitting in the waiting room. Yeah, like felt like I was gonna spiral into the ground. And I would just sit there like, but to me, that's what scared me so much because I didn't know what it was, that spiraling felt like dying. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to just die. I didn't know what it was. And I'm just like, hold on, hold on, hold on. You got to find these answers. You got, and I never found answers.
Yeah. Reiki
Except
Raymond
for having
asks, is
anxiety.
Mandy from Texas? The inside of that house looks like architecture of Texas houses. Yes,
Oh
Mandy
yeah,
is from Texas. Where are you, Reiki Raymond? Reiki
that's
Raymond.
interesting. Are they an architect?
Yeah.
My sister's an architect. My older sister. This
Yeah,
is just
Mandy
a
has so
single.
beautiful house. I always admire your house. It's just
Oh, thank you.
so.
This is a single family home, but it is considered like a townhouse.
And you have
It
a
stands out.
so cool little garden. So cool. Like,
I know. You know what? That's so interesting that you said that today because I was thinking about making this video while I repot a plant, but it's raining. So
one day we will do that. People
yeah,
want to, and my viewers definitely in Finland would like to see how maybe you can go sometimes some places if we do that if that is possible to do you in phone. I don't know, but then it's
yeah.
of course
I can do it on my
difficult for
phone.
you because you cannot then see. Uh,
Yeah,
that's a little bit weird.
right. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
hard to see.
yeah.
But I'm interested though. This is how my brain works. Like, did this person know because I've said I'm from Texas like yesterday? Or what is architecture from Texas mean? I don't understand
Yeah.
that.
Can you give a little bit
If
more
they want to
if you
elaborate.
want?
Or is it like the decor or
He said, I'm
like
from
the
Finland. I called my professor from Texas last month. We had a Zoom call and she was inside her house and it looked exactly like Mandy's. Okay,
Oh, that is
cool.
so cool. I love that. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
glad I asked. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So you
Yeah, I
have
think it's like
Mandy
the
Texas
I
architect.
think it's like the Browns. We have a lot of probably like brown, like cowboy, like saddle.
But the Yaka says, do you like the TV show King of the Hill? I
I
haven't.
used to watch it
I haven't watched that.
a long time ago, like King of the Hill, The Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Yeah, it's funny
I did watch a lot when I was a kid.
because I think the guy in King of the Hill, the main character, real cowboy for not even cowboy. He's I guess you would call redneck maybe.
What is like
Hank.
Mandy the famous
His
text
name is
like? Do you
Hank
have
Hill.
your own any like TV shows in Texas? Like, what do you
I don't
like?
think so. But you asked yesterday, and I was busy looking at the screen, so I'm so glad I'm not looking at it today. You were like, "Well, we were talking about the snacks or the food,
Yes,
and you were like, what's the Texas like the traditional Texas food?"
yeah.
So I thought about that this morning because I didn't answer. So it's mainly like three things like tacos, barbecue, and chili are like the staple. Because we have hamburgers, and here in Houston, it's very diverse. We have a lot of different nationalities. So there's Vietnamese, big Vietnamese
Mm-hmm.
population. There's a lot of like Thai food that's very good. Um, all different stuff.
I love
African food.
tacos. That's what I want. If I
The
visit you
taco.
one day, I want to eat Mexican food
Yeah,
from Texas.
we have Tex-Mex because we're right on the border of Mexico, so we have a lot of Tex-Mex food. So, but enchiladas and fajitas. Fajitas are very popular, which you can make a little taco. Yeah, And I try to eat corn tortillas. The other day I got a corn tortilla and they put flour, and this is how much better I'm doing that I was like, oh, I'll just eat it. But I don't want to keep doing that because I just flour and me don't still. But what's so interesting is that now that I'm doing better and my intestines are working right, and the anxiety's down, I really believe intestinal, a lot of it, I'm not saying all, I have to be clear on that, but a lot of intestinal issues are because of anxiety.
Yeah.
Because
Then
I had anxiety, or just the way caffeine affects the whole digestive system too, but anxiety as well, because I had a lot of digestive issues. And now I can eat more, I can have more food freedom. And so I am, but I need to kind of
yeah,
rein it in a little bit,
it's a
but
huge. The caffeine is a
it's
huge
huge.
problem. Okay,
Yeah. Oh,
so
it messes up the whole digestive system. Yeah.
caffeine always keeps dragging me back to it. Yes, really bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's hard. We have a Taco Bell in Finland now. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That I don't eat that anymore.
not where I am, but yeah, I probably. Are you from Helsinki? It's a capital city, or the bigger city? We have more places, but I live in the middle of the forest, so. But coffee is everywhere. Even here, middle of the forest, you go the next gas station, coffee. And do you know what, Mandy? Now they are putting in energy drinks in the. You can straight from the what is this like straight from the where you take soda automat. You can take the Red Bull and like the
Oh, like a fountain,
yeah
like a soda fountain.
yeah
Wow.
here in Finland they started that in
Um,
some gas stations.
well, I wanted to say about Taco Bell. I used to eat that in my 20s, but I don't eat that anymore. Like that's really considered like poo poo. I mean, it's
Yeah,
cheap,
yes,
when you're, but
chunky.
no, we won't go to Taco Bell when you come here. We'll go to really, not that I'm dogging
I
that.
don't
That's
want
what
a
that place is
Taco Bell
like.
when I come there because I wanna
No,
feel the extra food.
but I used to eat the bean burritos. I used to get four things when I went there. But, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we won't go there.
Yeah, I don't know where I take you where you come here because you will have the Finnish potatoes and meatballs when I make them. Tap on
Mm.
Hana. Tap, tap. Yes. So they have energy drinks on the tap. Thank you, Jaakko. I didn't know what is.
Oh, okay. Like at the bar where like the taps.
Yeah, gas station. They and they said in the news that it's because of the so many track people are going, like the car people are. But that's bullshit. Like the children are also eating there, and they are gonna take the energy drink. So
Yeah. I think I've said this before, but of course I could repeat everything a million times. One of my friend, I have a friend, a best friend who is a big drinker, and she got put in jail. Yeah, I remember saying that because I was like, should I be saying this?
yeah,
She got a DWI for drinking and driving, and she got put in jail. And as her being a big drinker, I'm like, well, obviously they don't have beer or alcohol in the jail.
yes,
But
awful.
they have caffeine, they have their coffee. It's like, because you think about that, because you're like, oh, having it in the store and just making it so available, they're not going to take it away from gel because then people could potentially go through withdrawal. So, because I was like, oh, y'all had
Yeah,
coffee and gel? Like, because to me, that seems kind of like a luxury
yes,
in a way. But she's like, oh, yeah, we had coffee every morning. We had the coffee. And I'm like, I mean, that does make sense. Because could you imagine people going in there and withdrawing in gel?
that would be for many really hard. Ricky Raymond said, I'm from Tampere originally, but now I live in Vaasa, but I think Taco Bell is only in Helsinki. Yes. How did you and Mandy become best friends? How did a Finnish person get to know American person? So yeah, we
Because it
did.
was meant to be.
It was meant to be, and we just like it was because of this quitting caffeine journey. Basically, Mandy did reach out. I think you find my channel. You were
Yeah.
commenting my channel, and then it was around, I think I was over almost 2 years off, or around 2 years. Do you remember when
Yeah,
we started?
it was April of 2022.
Yeah, so I was 2 years. Okay,
And
then.
I messaged you, and we were both back and forth with like, oh, yeah, we're still feeling stuff. And I remember saying, okay, well, we can help each other get through this for like the next year. Because we were like, we
Yes.
heard 3 years was
Yeah, we thought that it's
which,
gonna be over in 3 years. Then.
yeah, because we had heard, people say that, like Brian Westlake and other people, that like 3 years was like this magic.
But they are on
And maybe
other
for
substances. some people were.
And maybe for some people it is better because it was better because
Yeah.
it was even better for us at 3 years, a little bit.
Then I went to
Three
tsunami
and a half,
wave. I went to tsunami
three,
wave.
3.5. Yeah, let's say 3.5.
Yeah.
After the tsunami waves, it was better. But so for them, it was better. But I did message them later and they were like, oh, yeah, they still had what we call kinks or moments. But it was better. They were more functional.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes, especially if you do go through a window, if you are the person that heals with windows and waves, they were in a window, a really good window, and then they commented, oh, I'm doing really good. But then they got a moment or a kink
Another
and
wave.
just didn't talk about it. Because certain people were telling me, oh, yeah, I was still really tired for like another year and a half. And I was like, oh, well, that's not 100%.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, even you said that Kato was tired still. Like I was, oh, that's really good information because I was so tired too and fatigued and anhedonic and like it's not 100%. That's why I never want. I'm even now I haven't never said I'm 100%. That's why, because I know when people get to their 3 years, some of they who have like us, the post-acute withdrawals, the high anxiety journey, falling off the mountain journey, and they get to 3 years and they are, oh, why am I not better? Why I'm not perfect? That's why I will say then when I'm perfect, when I really am.
Yeah. And after like a few months or, no more waves, it's like there's another wave or another moment, another kink. But also what we were saying, because this is important too, and we've said it a lot before, but it's so important. Pretty much everybody that said that they were better were doing other stuff.
Yeah, like they were using either many alcohol, weed. So that's not the same thing. Yeah. But when you are raw and you have a lot of symptoms, that means that you heal. Everything is healing. When you suppress, if you take something, it suppress you. Even if you take chocolate, it can seem like whole different kind of story. You cannot even necessarily withdraw in the same time because chocolate is caffeine. But we did become friends because of this with the caffeine journey. Short.
Yeah, back to the question.
Long question answered.
Yes.
Long, short.
We were so similar. We had childhood similarities. We just learned along the way, and not that we're exactly the same by any means, but we had a lot of similarities, and I think we're both kind of similar when it comes to wanting to, even though we were going through stuff, we just had a bleeding heart.
Yeah.
And it probably comes from our upbringing, maybe some people pleasing stuff. I don't know, but I think we're just both kind and caring. But then it also helps us too. If we get something out of it,
Yeah.
So much. And just so thankful for that. And I always respected you, Ani, because you did start the channel, and I still haven't started mine because
you have to. I don't. Mandy, that starts the channel. Mandy have to.
I know. I keep saying that, and I think it's because it's not because I'm afraid of what other people think or anything like that. Because I know that's some people's big thing. Like, oh, I'm going to get. What if somebody says something? It's not that, or I'm just scared. I think it's because I am doing so much better, and I know eventually I'm not going to want to talk about this as much anymore. But that doesn't mean that channel has to be just about caffeine or addiction or alcohol,
it doesn't have to be caffeine at all. If it can be anything you like.
Yeah, because I'd like my plans, traveling. I do want to do like some travel stuff. So yeah, it's going to all come together. But I think I'll always somewhat be a big advocate for addiction, for the rewiring process, how it not just because even in Caffeine Blue, such a great book to say what caffeine does, but he does not talk about what some people can go in through with the withdrawal process, and how long it can take, the rewiring process, the certain people that do fall off the mountain. He doesn't talk about that. So there's just such a need for that information. And yes, you have the channel. But yeah, I'd probably do it in my own Mandy way. Yeah, it would be good to have it. I just
even
but I always
even for me, I will do when I get more in shape, I will start to do more workout videos, more food videos. So my channel will be mixed with everything, but I still keep doing this, support work in some level, of course, because it's always gonna be something to like.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing. It will always evolve to where we are in our journey of just growth, because we're always growing.
Yeah, like now I'm reading Bible in my channel. I do cooking videos, workout videos. It just have been coming
Yeah.
where I am able what's have been coming and happening to life. So you don't stay the same situation. Like you don't even should say the same, even when you are healing
Mhm.
journey. And what I
Right.
was missing, that I would have hoped that some people, when they quit caffeine, they could have do the videos that were they were really bad, and then when they are doing all kind of exercises and enjoying life when they have healed. So that kind of videos we don't see also, like that.
Yeah.
I like after 10 years how much better that it even get after that, or you know,
Yeah.
like because we don't know how much it can even improve after 6 years. We don't know how much it can improve. It can improve like so much.
Well, think about it. This is how I think. Okay, let's say that you've had the anxiety you're for since you were 10 years old, right? Or 12 years old or
Yeah.
whatever. And you're 40 years old, you quit, and you've had mild to moderate anxiety your whole life, pretty much your whole life. Then you quit, you go through something like falling off the mountain, you get terrible, extreme, and panic anxiety. Your whole body is just like, nah,
Yeah.
and doing all this recovery. And then you get to 4 or 5 years, and then, or wherever you are when your anxiety is just, you've got normal, because anxiety is normal in us,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're supposed to, for survival, but it's only triggered if something really extreme happens. We get a little, and
Mm-hmm.
then it calms down. It's
Calms
not that
down.
constant. So when that finally gets at bay, then of course it makes sense that another year to like 2 years after it's completely gone, you're going to be different, you're because you don't even because even now, let's say, because what do we say, we're around 90-95%,
Yeah.
on certain days.
Yeah.
So that's still 5 to 10%.
Mm-hmm.
That's still there's a good analogy. We're not getting uh, soaked in the rainstorm anymore, but we're still getting drizzled on, so we're still getting wet. And so there's a little bit there, whatever, even though we're more functional. So when it's completely gone, when it's irrational stuff, it just makes sense that we're going to just naturally evolve more into our own healthy, the way that our most authentic self. And
Yes.
so, of course, it's going to get better and better.
Yeah, and Rarity Raymond asks that, he says, that's cool. And has either of you experienced that anxiety makes you procrastinate and want to sleep more? If yes, how did you battle it? Do
I
you want to
just did
answer,
what for
Mars?
me. You want me to answer first?
Yes, first, please.
I just learned to accept that my body needed to rest and just go with it. I mean, because there's certain people that they'll say, "Oh, I can't do that. I have to work. I have children to pay for. I have this. I have that. I have responsibilities." Like when you fall off the mountain,
Yeah,
as bad as it seems. I mean, there are people that had to work through it. I don't know
yeah.
how. I
I
mean,
don't know how.
my heart goes out.
Yeah, same.
Um, like me going to school online. There's certain people that say, "I don't know how you did it," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Well, I couldn't. I don't feel like I could have worked. I mean, maybe I could have. It would have been so bad. I mean, there were days I
I
couldn't
have.
drive to the
I have. No,
grocery
no,
store. Yeah, I don't think I
I,
could have.
I
I
couldn't.
didn't want to. I didn't have the dopamine. We talked about that
Yeah,
before. It's like maybe I could. It's just like it was so low dopamine. I
no,
didn't care. Like I
no.
didn't. I just.
For me,
I
no.
knew I had to eat. I knew I had to get through the day, but that was it. Like I was like, I'm not doing anything. I don't want to do anything else. I can't
Oh,
because I don't want to. Because that's what we talked about yesterday. When that dopamine is down to heal everything else, it doesn't feel good because you don't get that reward. So it's like, what's the point? Because that's what life is about, purpose and reward. It's
yeah.
purpose. So I did not feel that.
Yeah, I was
um,
so scared, terrified, like many, and it was because it
yeah.
was so changeable with symptoms. Like I had moments. I did one work, one children's, because I'm a sports instructor. It's one of my jobs. Uh, so I went. My sister asked me to work with 1 week, a few days with the children sports camp to teach them
Oh
like
yeah, I
sport
remember
and
that.
that. And I was like, I don't know. Okay, I took it,
Yeah.
that job. It was horrible. It
Yeah.
was horrible. I was
Yeah.
2 years. I thought my brain is fucked. This is something like why I'm not able to be normal and happy with the kids. I have so weird head symptoms and pains and all over. Even kids were probably thinking that this is weird person. Like I don't know, but I made it through. But it's just with anxiety is something if you don't experience it yourself, this kind of
Yeah.
anxiety, because it's like for my answer the question is like I just have to accept that I need rest, so I did rest
Mm-hmm.
whenever, because I just did what I could. If I had the energy, I spent it. I went for a walk. I even did go for a gym for some periods of my journey, because this was a long journey, so I had windows where I could work out a little bit more, but it never was like before this. I have
Yeah.
still have not gotten the level that I was able to work out before this. But I think
Which
that
we
like
will.
we will, and I think eventually like I can feel it that it will be so much better than what it was caffeine. It will be so much better. It
Yeah.
is a next level, but it's just like the physical body drags a little bit. Your mental gets better, and then you physically drag. So I would say that if you
Yeah.
have anxiety, any level, mild, moderate, extreme panic, just the easiest is when you accept you have to accept it, because if you fight through it and you just I just hate it and I cannot, like, that's just like make it harder. But the easier is the sooner you accept it and let's just take it with you, like whatever symptom is, just know that is healing, your body is rewiring. Even if you are still on
Yes.
caffeine, just know that anxiety is actually healthy sign. Even if you are on drugs,
Yeah.
it's no,
Yeah.
I don't say that drugs are healthy, but the symptoms are healing.
Yeah.
Even when you
And you're
are on.
constantly going to keep doing, you're probably going to if you stay on caffeine and you already have anxiety, mild or moderate, whatever, or maybe panic, you're going to possibly keep having it because that is the way that that means the body is, because the body is always trying to heal
Yeah.
every day. Like you get a cut, it starts healing immediately. It's the process.
Yeah.
So as long as we're alive, like we're healing. But if you're putting something in your body, the body's just going to keep having to do that. So the symptoms are the healing. So it's going to keep having the symptoms until it's, but yeah, it's
And
good.
drugs are
Yeah. So
like the drugs, what the body tries to heal when it can, but if you do drugs or some other poisons or anything, it's almost like it suppress that process, and
yeah.
it interrupts.
Yeah, it suppresses the way you feel, but then you feel bad, but then you're putting the drug in. It's kind of keeping you going, which it is in the moment because that's what it does by raising the adrenaline, blocking the dizzy. But yeah, I like to say meet yourself where you're at and
Yes.
so like for me, when I quit, I was sleeping till noon. I was sleeping like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I thought I was lazy. I thought something was wrong with me until I started realizing, oh, I need that. That's what my body needs. And so if I stayed up late, I just let it happen. If I needed to sleep in, I just let it happen. If I could take a nap, I would let it happen.
Yes.
But I couldn't. I had so much adrenaline, I don't think I could nap. And then I wanted to try to sleep at night. So I was just like, make myself stay awake. And a lot of the time when I felt bad, it was because I needed to either eat or sleep. I was tired.
Yeah, and
And now we can feel that.
I did learn that from you. Like you were a really good teacher for me, that whatever your rhythm is, just let it be. So even now
Yeah.
I'm taking naps, and I'm still, if I have a rhythm that I'm staying out up really late. It's just like I don't know, it's not gonna be ever gonna be like that. I will be more in person, but I love that I can sleep now. I sleep very late if I just can, and if I sometimes wake up, I don't be worried about that. That's just, I go peeing, then I maybe a little bit wake, I go back to sleep. But before,
Right.
when I wasn't like in this state, it was just waking up all the time, not be able to be calm because I had so much anxiety. I have that night terrors. So it's every
Yeah.
state that
Same.
you are your watcher, like your nervous system will find a way to rewire itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Let the symptoms come, let them go. If they're there for a reason. So like for me, same, if I do wake up, which is rare now, but I can tell if I'm more stressed or I'll wake up to pee pee and then I'll stay up for 30 minutes and then I go back to sleep. But I don't have that same high cortisol
Mm.
weirdness feeling and like, oh God,
Yeah,
I'm
me
just there.
neither.
I'm just kind of
Never.
like, I just have my eyes closed and I'm just kind of, I'm not even really thinking about anything. Sometimes think if I want to, I'll come up with an idea.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just laying there and I'm relaxed. So
Yeah.
it's nothing. But most of the time now, this is what's cool. If I go to bed at 9 or I go to bed at 11, I sleep 8 hours and I'm ready to get up. I'm
That's
up.
so
Like I
cool.
cannot sleep anymore. That has never happened in my life. But I have other things where I feel like I need to eat
Mm-hmm.
more, and I know that'll get better. So like that's where I'm at. Like my sleep's a little bit better, but then maybe someone else. But
Yeah.
I still, like yesterday, I did go to the grocery store to get avocados because I needed for my smoothie. And I was able to get up without eating. I didn't eat anything. I just had a little bit of water, went to the grocery store, came home, made my smoothie. But let's say a year ago, I couldn't have done that. I would have had to have had something in my body
Yeah.
because my glucose was so off,
Yeah.
which is part of the process because caffeine
Caffeine.
and alcohol both raise glucose. So my glucose was all off,
Yeah.
which is part of homeostasis.
Yeah. It will.
Now my body is more into the homeostasis. It's getting the glucose from the liver, but it's just so whatever you're going through, it's just because your body, for the watchers, it's just because your body still needs it.
Yeah, that's why in the beginning when I get a lot of messages, because none of us didn't really understand what this high anxiety journey was all about, and falling off the mountain with caffeine. So I tried different kind of stuff, like I tried fasting some point of my journey, and it didn't work. And then some people comment me that, yeah, you should fast and it's about diet and stuff. And then when I really learned this is nothing to do with the diet, I'm not saying the good diet is good. Of course, you want to eat healthy, that should be the common sense. But this journey is nothing to do with the diet what comes to length of the recovery. And we have been able to prove that there are in this journey some really healthy athletic guys who did fall off the mountain, have perfect diet. They say nothing to do with the diet. Then there are
Yeah.
people who eat like we, that mostly healthy food, but sometimes we eat out. All kind of stories, but they all say the same: when you fall off the mountain, it's not only thing but time.
Time. Staying free. If you quit and you fell off the mountain and you got the anxiety, you stay quit in time. It really
Yeah,
is.
stay.
It's all scheduled. It's all scheduled to happen for your body.
And quit
That's why
all
we
mind
can't say,
altering drugs if you just can, and supplements if you can.
yeah, supplements. Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Supplements are such a moneymaker too, such a scam, I think.
and why I just wanna say that why, because I know some people can do supplements and that's okay, then you do them. But why I always want to say this, it's that there are people who have had injury from the supplements, like real injury. So that's
Yeah.
why some supplements we don't know what they put in. Some people like B vitamins, they are actually, I read that the study that they many people have neuropathia, like they stimulate also your brain, and there can be all kind of like ingredients that we don't even know what they. I did
Yeah.
my one live about the toxic supplements, how they made those in China with the just putting them in the floor and very dirty like you don't know what they are putting there. So when you are sensitized, you have sensitized nervous system. But if you take
Yeah.
something that your body thinks that this is not normal, this is not food, it can
Right.
interfere. That's why I'm not here to scare you, but just say that, because then why wouldn't I say that if some people have had reaction from those? We just think that we don't need those, but each on their own.
Yeah. Because some people might be like, oh, well, I like my supplement. Well, then take your supplement. But yeah, especially B vitamins are very stimulating and can affect the nervous system if you've already have a sensitized nervous system. That's very common. They talk about that in some adrenal fatigue groups, societies. There's some guy, he's a doctor, what is his name? Dr. Lynn, or he talks about why certain supplements are not good if you have adrenal fatigue, which adrenal fatigue to me is really just anxiety.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yupistar, there is two questions. Have you found that the symptoms are worse when you are alone? And Annie asks, Hi Annie. Hi Annie and Mandy. Regarding supplements, do not get yours from Amazon like I did. Fortunately, I can take them. Yes. Yes. Some people can take and some people don't. It's just, yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
we just choose not to. And plus, here's another thing: they're expensive, and you get it from food. Again, when
Yeah.
intestines are not absorbing them.
And you say, have you found that the symptoms are worse when you are alone?
Oh, yeah, because that might create, if it is happening to you, because that might create more, you might be more apprehensive because you feel safe if you have somebody.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to go and be with a nurse when when it was really extreme for me. I wanted to be with a nurse so she could put an IV in me if I needed, because I always thought I was dehydrated and my heart was pounding so much. You're scared, you don't want to be alone because that feels, when you have anxiety, we want survival of the fittest. Like you want your tribe because
Yeah.
um, there's more safety in numbers. But
Mm.
when you're strong and you don't have anxiety, like you can stand alone and like walk the world all alone. But when
Yeah.
you're in a vulnerable place, that's when you want your peeps, it makes sense.
Yeah, I was praying a lot, like God, even I didn't know Jesus that I like I do now, but I was praying to God. I felt that sometimes I was scared if my boyfriend wasn't at home because he left sometimes like the days to do his stuff. So I remember that I was thinking that what if I'm gonna just die here, like that the it was anxiety doing, but that's just but now I'm going there in the forest. I actually say two big elves, no elves, elks, no elves, but elks. So it was like really fight or flight situation because there was a baby elk and the big elk, and my dog was right away going there, and there were hunters, so it was dangerous. They could have shot my dog or such something like. But I was calm. I was just okay. I'm gonna handle it right now. And the elks were just going away. My dog came back, and I was okay. So that
Wow.
was
Did you take
real fight
pictures?
or flight. That was like real fight or
Right.
flight.
That's when you need your
That's when I
fight or flight
needed
to
my
kick in.
adrenaline and cortisol
Yeah.
to speak, but nothing
Yeah.
happened. The elks went away and it was cool.
Did you take photos of the elks?
No, I couldn't. They were just too far away in that, but still
Yeah.
close because my dog was going after them. So I because there was a baby. They are not angry, but if there is a baby and the
Right.
mother, you
Right.
don't know what is happening.
Did you have to tell Frika get back? Were you
Yeah,
yelling
I
at her
was
to come back?
yelling. I was yelling. I called my boyfriend and I don't know what is happening that now but Frikka went, but Frikka came back.
Wow,
So
good girl.
yeah.
Good
But
Frika.
that's the just example when your nervous system is starts to function better and you will go to the situation that happens in life that you kick fight or flight, you are able to calm down after that. You should be able to calm down. Like
Yeah. Well, you made me think of something. So if you're not on any substance the way we're, I think, designed to be, and then we go through a situation like that, and we do get some adrenaline pumping through our body,
mm-hmm.
we do, the blood comes away from the brain so we can run or whatever. But so you can't really think logically when something like that's happening, I think naturally, even if you're on or off everything. But I think you would think better if you were free from everything
Yeah.
compared to like if you were on caffeine and then go through something like that.
Yeah, I noticed that almost your senses are so clear. You are looking, you are like, okay, here is the situation, and you just act,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
However, you're going to survive that situation the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you act.
Annie knows inventory recovery today, 5 months free. Did you had tingling or like electricity in your limbs when you got scared? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because that's what we just said. Like the blood comes from the brain to it goes to the limb. It comes to the limbs or goes from your limbs so you can fly, fleet if you need to, flight or flight. Um,
Yes.
so you'll get that tingling, you'll get that sensation. Very, very normal anxiety.
Very
I had it
normal.
too. I know lots of people in benzo that I've watched many benzo videos where they just have so many different sensations in the body. Burning feet. They talk about burning,
Yes.
and it's all anxiety stuff.
Electric feelings, pins and needles.
Nervous
Pins and
system,
needles are very common
pins
benzo.
and needles.
Um,
I had this like really tingly on my arm a lot for some reason, just like right here. I don't know why.
and Annie, congrats for the 5 months. Amazing. 5 months
Yes.
benzo free. That's huge.
Very good.
Yay.
Oh, is this the
Yeah, this is the Annie that did miss our live yesterday.
oh,
So
hello. We made
we,
this, we were pretty much making this today for you.
yeah, and we had a
Is your comment.
good time today. Like I said,
Yeah.
I tried to put in the future announcement, but me and Mandy, we are pretty much the same. That sometimes we just have the idea, oh, let's make a live. We are just in that way same that we are kind of spontaneous. But I know that
Yeah.
it's not good for the viewers. But if you wanna like that people will be there. But I try to if we know sometimes we don't know, we just have a talk and let's do a live. But if we
Yeah.
plan, then I try to put
I have an
announcements.
idea if people are, how many people are watching right now?
13,
Wow.
13.
If anybody wants to put in the chat or in the comments, the regular comments of like what they want us to talk about.
Yeah, like you can put topics. I know that one guy asked me that could you speak about carnivore, and I said that I can ask Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
See,
maybe
and
more even that
something you
one.
had said earlier that goes along with this, I can segue into it about, certain people are like carnivore, certain people are about the vegan diet, certain people are just saying take the supplements or don't, or da, da, da. I've always said, well, in the last 2 years, that just do whatever is not going to stress your body more.
Yes, if carnivore
So,
works, do that.
right.
For us, it didn't. No
No,
way
it was putting my
in
body in way too much stress.
yeah.
I didn't know it because I heard, I pretty much watched every single keto and carnivore video there is out there. Dr. Ken
Yeah.
Berry and
Paul
all of them. I just can't remember all their
Saladino
names.
and
Paul
all.
Saladino and then how he went back to fruit and
Yeah.
he's addicted to sugar because he went back to fruit and all this crap. But I mean, am I addicted to fruit? Maybe. I don't know. But I feel better and
I'll eat food.
I just
Fruit.
eat. Like I'm not afraid to eat
Me
now,
neither.
which that might cause its own anxiety to be. I mean, I don't want to eat sugar, cakes and donuts and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
same.
That's my choice, but I don't think that that's causing me like, oh, I feel like I have more food freedom, but I'm just, my choice is to not go to sugar. I haven't had processed
Yeah,
sugar in over 4 years.
same. And for carnivore, I was good with carnivore before this happened. So we have to remember it's something that works you when your brain is not rewiring. It's not when you don't have a
Right.
high anxiety. It can be that you do just fine pretty much with any diet you can adapt. I think when you are normal, when
Yeah.
you don't
Whatever
have
you want to
anxiety,
do.
it's not a problem, the diet. But when you have high anxiety, your stress hormones are up, it can just cause you more stress,
Right.
the
Yeah.
strict.
Just like normal people can take supplements because they're not in that dysregulated nervous system state, sensitized state.
Yeah,
So working out, somebody,
yeah,
because a lot of people, they quit alcohol and they say that they're saving grace. They're like, I quit alcohol, I got sober, and they're like, I had to run miles every day, sweat, but they didn't fall off the mountain. They didn't get
yes,
high anxiety. They just quit alcohol.
yeah,
So somebody that has the high anxiety, they might not be able to work out. But when you're done, when you're recovered, yeah, go work out. So it just whatever feels good, do, and whatever doesn't feel good, don't do.
yeah. What works for you?
And when you're recovered, you'll be able to do pretty much whatever you
And
want.
of course, people who follow my channel, that I'm against like I don't want to take any vaccines ever, or I think those
Yeah.
are really dangerous, and I don't take supplements, and but the vaccines, I think it's something I happy speaking more with those, but and now I have been able, which is weird because YouTube before, when I speak about vaccines and dangers of the vaccines, it censorized my videos, but now I have been able. So something has happened.
Wow.
I have been able to
Oh, wow.
share about dangers of the vaccine. But
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever take supplements, even if I'm, when I am, even when I'm completely recovered, because I see how it's expensive and it's a scam and it's a moneymaker and it's
yeah,
unnecessary. So I wouldn't want to do that. Like, and I don't want to take vaccines because I don't believe in them. I mean, when we're healthy and our body's working right, we don't get as sick, I don't think,
yeah, same. I
as
don't
sick.
either like want to. What is Annie says? My worst symptom was internal vibrations. It was so scary because it's so far away from anything you could experience when healthy. Put me in hospital several times in several misdiagnoses. Yes, and Annie
That's
says, thank you,
terrible.
happy to meet you, Mandy, and sorry I couldn't make it in time. Had to get some groceries to pasta salad, and I bought some food for a homeless person too. That's so
Oh,
nice.
I'm glad you're here now.
Internal vibrations. Yes,
I had those.
they are
I thought I was
scary.
tied up to a battery, like a car battery, and it was on. You couldn't see it, right? It's not like you're shaking like that. It's inside.
Inside.
Um, and to me, like it would happen and wake me up to go pee pee. It's like hormone. I can feel it. It was like, I mean, it's the nervous system, hormones, it's neurotransmitters, but it is anxiety and it is the symptom is happening for a reason. And it's just the nervous system doing its thing and it will stop eventually when it's ready, when it's your body's time. But yeah, that is a very scary symptom, but it is very normal through
Very
this.
normal. I had that, like, I think it came to really clear me in my tsunami wave because before that, people asked me that, do I have to have that? Like, do you have that internal vibrations? But I had so many symptoms. But then in the
Yeah.
tsunami wave, it was really, really high because, like we said, that we had 2 times in this journey when it was acute, like beginning. Anxiety was really high when it kicked in, like after a few weeks, about after quitting for me. And then in the tsunami wave, in some ways, it was even more higher than beginning, but in other ways,
Yeah.
not. Because of
Right.
course you have already experienced that, but it didn't mean that it wasn't scary. It was scary. Even
Yeah.
you had it like again. So it's normal.
Same.
It's normal.
Same. Like sometimes I was like, this is just like the beginning. And some things it seemed worse. And then some things it seemed a little bit better.
Yeah.
But the insomnia for a week, I had insomnia, really bad insomnia for a week in that way. But yeah, the internal vibrations, that's very common and
Yeah.
comes
Don't
and
worry.
goes. I don't think it's constant. It wasn't constant for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't worry.
You're gonna be okay. Yes, there's 12
I
people.
just wish that there was so much more information on this when you go to the doctor, right? Like I was saying in the beginning,
Yeah,
if
they
they just would have said, oh, this is because
quit caffeine.
had anxiety from being on the substances and maybe some traumas and whatever, but the substances suppress the traumas and blah, 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 blah. And
Yes.
then you quit cold turkey and now you were in allostasis and now you're going back to homeostasis and this, they don't say any of that.
No, and they try to
And this
put
is
you in
just,
pills. And for me, even I was so fucked up that I could have end up in the mental hospital because I have background in that. Like when I was younger, I was because with OCD in the mental hospital sometimes. So I didn't wanna even go and say because no, no way.
yeah,
I knew that it's gonna like they cannot just offer pills, and I don't want pills. Pills doesn't work. They don't do anything.
no. And that's another way we bonded too, because I had the OCD intrusive thoughts that were different when I was young.
Yeah.
And then you had that. And I did go to I went to Charter Hospital when I was 16. There's a place called Charter. I don't even think they exist anymore. Yeah. So we kind of had that same similarity. And it was like, oh my God, all those years, it was just caffeine or it was just stress. It was just the nervous system.
Yeah. Nervous system dysregulation, and that's
Really was.
yeah. Thank you,
And
by
not
the
many
way.
people know about it.
Yeah,
There's a
not
lot that know about it, but there should be more, especially professionals that are in the healthcare. It's really sick care, kind of,
think
not
of
kind of, it is.
think about if there would be a doctor who say that actually all your symptoms are healing because and then
Yeah.
doctor would ask, hey, by the way, what substances are you on? Are you using caffeine, alcohol? They don't like that's not what they do.
Wow. Could you imagine? Yeah. Hey, all your symptoms are because you're healing.
How
And then your anxiety like
reassuring.
calms down, right? Because you know what's funny?
Yeah.
When I was going to the doctor here and there, and then when I went in the wave, my mom went with me to one of them in the wave. And my husband, I would come out of there and I would feel high. Like I would feel like no problem.
Yeah.
And my husband's like, because my mom and I like went to the grocery store and I was, I mean, I didn't feel 100%, but I just felt way better.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, you need to just go to the doctor every morning because when you come out, because she gave me reassurance that I wasn't like all my stuff came back normal. And then that helped my anxiety calm down
Yes.
because, as I'm going, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get some type of like, I'm sick. I have cancer. I have some type of something. And so then it's like, nope, everything's fine. And then I just felt better. Because I was having like really bad digestive stuff in the wave. And they did like 7 different poop tests.
Oh,
And the
sorry.
doctor, I was like, you're not worried about this yellow, which is, I know now it's just like
Detox.
adrenaline poop. And it's just high, all that stuff. And she's like, no, I'm not, even though my test hadn't come back yet, she's like, I'm not worried about you. And that just made me calm down. So just imagine if we all went to the doctor and they just told us like, oh, you're just healing, how much better we would
So,
feel
so good. It would be so cool.
to have a professional. Because even though we're saying it, I mean, still there's something about people love, the doctors and the professionals. And it's
Yeah.
like, if more of society knew about all this, it would really help. I mean, yes, we'd still have to go through the symptoms, we still have to go through the time, but I just feel like it would help our nervous system feel a little calmer,
Yeah.
more, more
Big
calm, more
pharma
calm.
is all about the money and not
Oh,
helping
money.
people.
How
Yeah.
could they make money though if they do that? So yeah.
Yeah. Annie asked, my worst symptom was yeah, that's what I did read. Yeah, sorry, I read sometimes again because I thought that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is so. This kind of information should be out there so much more. Like
Yeah.
the major
And it
is.
really is what it is.
Yeah.
We want to be talking about it if we hadn't gone through it. We've done so much research. We've talked to so many different people. We're experiencing it. We're past 4 years. I mean, you can now say you're past 4.5.
Yes, this month it will be 4 years and 7 months.
Wow. Yeah, I'll be 4 years, 5 months
Hey,
on
and
the 25th.
because the January is the month when the caffeine quitters are coming
Oh
coming
yeah,
in,
yeah.
so then we have to do the live to the new starters. And it is even people usually start new life changes in January, but it's with caffeine anytime is good. Like
Yeah. I
anytime
wonder why that
you're
is. I wonder
starting.
what the psychology is about just because it's New Year's, a new start, why people want to, because you got the holidays with Halloween and then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and then New Year. So you got all this like bad behavior that's so accepted. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's New Year's now. We got to get all healthy and
Maybe it's
got to
like
have
a
that spring
starting a new
body,
year. Some people think that it's like starting a new.
a new you. And when
uh,
I think there's some type of disconnect there, like society has really pushed people to think something. Yeah, I haven't really thought about, I could think about all that. There's like some type of psychology behind it. But do we keep going? Because I had
Yeah,
some stuff I wanted
yeah.
to.
I I read one. I have one text on the Bible that I wanted to read here in the. It's
Oh,
John 14, 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I gave unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
Hmm.
That's from the
I love
Bible
that.
verse.
Yeah, I did a lot of praying because when we were talking about that earlier, like if you feel alone, I did pray a lot.
Yes.
And that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that just makes you feel, because like we are all safe.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah.
And God loves us. And this is like lesson stuff while we're here. This is all just for a reason. And it's challenging. And it's, when you are lonely, I get it. And that's why we make the videos. And you're not alone, even when you're physically alone, you're not.
Yes.
So just remember that and hold on to it that you're doing good and that you're healing. And yes, it takes time and yes, it's hard, but the hard things are what's worth it. I was really into that last month when I was up at my sister's, that when you think about it that way, like with working out,
Mm-hmm.
the things that are hard are really kind of the things that we need in our life. Like when we're complacent and we're doing the easy way,
Yeah.
we're not really growing. We're growing when we're challenged.
Yes.
So I just love that whole perspective because it's true. Like
Yeah.
working out, no one likes to go to the gym and work out. Then you start to get the endorphins from it and you start to look really good. But
Yeah,
the
I
things
like
that
it.
we need are the things that are hard
Yes. Yeah, and like that's how
in a way.
it's like the hardest experience in your life can turn to better, the best
Yeah.
for you in this.
Yeah.
But Mandy, keep going. I will. Yupistar says that Andy asked, "Is Mandy from Canada? Your accent reminds me for my ex-colleague's accent, and she is from Canada."
Me?
Yeah, Mandy's Texas.
I'm from Texas, born and raised in Houston, Texas.
And Yupistar, do you believe that the truth about caffeine will eventually be revealed to the doctors and psychologists? I have been thinking about that so much.
I used to think about that because, like, the way the cigarettes were. And when I was in school, almost every single paper I wrote was on caffeine and like stress and trauma and addiction. And all my professors probably thought I was crazy. But I had one professor at the end because I went into class. I was starting to go into class, and she was like, I'll never forget. It gave me so much dopamine. It made me feel so good and accomplished. She goes, she read my paper. She goes, you might be onto something. And that
That's
made me
cool.
feel so good because I was just like, you might be onto something with this. And I'm like, you better believe it. I'm onto something. We're onto
Yeah.
something.
I really would like to say yes, but I also believe that there is a really huge stuff which is controlling all this with money.
Yeah.
Also, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's a huge business. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But
Yeah, there's too much money and evil and control behind it all. Um, and again, like if you talk to somebody who hasn't fallen off the mountain and they're consuming their caffeine, they don't have any problems, like they're fine with it, Not that I'm advocating for caffeine, but there's other things that can cause people, other PTSD type
yeah,
trauma, stress situations that can cause someone's nervous system to go into. I don't think they're going to have a 2, 3, 4, 5 year recovery, but
vaccines
they can
and
have
trauma.
symptoms, the same symptoms. They can like vibrate and have depression, and it's all can be trauma and dopamine, and it's all nervous system,
Yeah, links.
down regulation and dysregulate. It's a trauma. It's a. But most of the time, I think
With
if
trauma, you
the way
heal faster. Usually.
you heal faster, like the way I like to look at it, if somebody goes through something really, really intense and like gets traumatized, and like you hear people like their hair will turn white,
Yeah.
they're probably also on caffeine because most of the population is on some form of caffeine. So would it have not been as traumatic if they wouldn't have been on it? I don't know.
We don't know.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did we
That.
answer? We both get kind of on our tangents. Did we answer our
Yeah, I think
questions?
we did answer. You can go on. You had something.
Not
Say.
tangents, but is tangent a negative word? I didn't mean tangent.
No, I don't even know what
Oh,
that
but
is.
about Canada. So like I said in the beginning of this, I'm kind of going through some type of like voice inflammation. So it's I like the Canada. Isn't that kind of like the North America or Canada what is that where everyone's like, how Eastern, not Eastern, what am I thinking? Northwestern, what is it called? Where they're like, how you doing? I can't do it.
You can do it. What is the Texas
Um,
accent? Like, speak really like real Texas. Like,
speaker. So y'all, the other day, y'all won't even believe what happened to me the other day. Okay, like I was at the grocery store. Okay, and this guy came up to me and he was talking shit to me. Y'all,
that's
it's very
so
y'all.
cool.
It's like a Texas drawl. Everything's
Is he
like
like a
long and drawn
howdy?
out.
Howdy. What is the
Yeah,
howdy?
howdy, y'all.
That's
Like
so
that,
good.
like
That's good.
very
I
howdy,
love that.
y'all. How y'all doing? Okay, it could be like this. How y'all doing today, y'all?
So cute.
Yeah. Or
In
if I get excited, sometimes I was told that I had like a California, kind of like a Valley girl, Texas. Like, oh my God, y'all won't even believe what happened to me the other day.
So different.
Yeah. Gag me with a butter knife.
We have the Finnish
Gag me with a
Finnish
spoon.
murre. I'm from Savo. It's like the stupid murre that can be like it's really like weird sounding like meittepä kuuluu. Like it's horrible. It's so horrible. People, yeah. But Finnish people even doesn't understand it. Many if they are not from there. But your accent is just so cool. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you. I love Australian, Irish, Scottish. I love those accents.
Yes. What is the
You know what
next?
my least favorite one? And I don't know why. I think we have talked about this before. And I'm not trying to put anyone down, but like if I'm on the phone with like AT&T or something and it's an Indian accent and it's very thick, for some reason it bothers me so bad. I don't know why. And then I looked it up and there was some kind of psychology behind why that certain accent bothers people. And it's not like, and I love it. I love Indian people,
Yeah.
but it's something about that dialect can like trigger something. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's just because it sounds different. Like in some
Maybe, but I looked it up because I was like, I didn't like that. It bothered me, you know?
yeah. I love the Texas act. It's just for me. It's just like beautiful English. Like it's like a how you say it's flow. It flows. Like
Yeah.
what is like the why doctors
Was
cannot
that
just
bad that I said that about the Indian? See,
no. It's not. Don't you can
that's my
say
own like people pleasing
yeah.
behavior thing that I'm
We don't
working on because I
always.
don't mean anything
We can
that
be
way.
human beings. We don't.
Yeah, I'm human. I'm
Yes,
imperfectly
we
perfect.
are human. Why doctors cannot just listen to us? You should always be willing to learn more in your professions. Texas accent is American Savo accent. Howdy ho! Yes, it's American Savo. Savo is like the Finnish, where I am from. Like Texas is the American Savo. Yeah, maybe
He's
it is.
funny, or he or she funny. I remember yesterday him saying like, "We need food." Where we all would.
Dialect. Okay, Jak always is good for English. He's correcting. Dialect is murre, what I meant. So
Right. Oh
dialect
yeah,
is what.
dialect.
So not
Yeah.
stupid namesake. I'm from Savo too, and I'll never forget my accent. Okay, yes. Yes, dialect. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. So this is so cool, Mandy, with you and with other English speaking languages. I learn.
Yeah, it's English. It's the dialect. Yeah, it's the southern drawl. It's the accent. Yeah,
I
but
learned
it is
speak
English.
English making this YouTube. If you watch those my first videos, my English is pretty horrible.
See, that is amazing to me.
Yeah.
That's how smart you are.
No. It's not like you
I don't speak
have
any
to
other
start
language.
in this caffeine journey. You just all information was like Kato's videos. They were English. Like English is really the language that you need to learn in nowadays. Like it's international.
Spanish. Here,
Yeah.
here, especially in Texas, if you want a job, it's really good to be bilingual with Spanish. And I am muy poquito, like I speak very little Spanish. I speak restaurant Spanish, being back in the kitchen with all the cooks.
Yo también
So
poco,
yeah,
yo
for
hablo
here,
poco, pero
it's.
no mucho.
Have you been practicing, Ani? Have you been practicing your Spanish?
Sí, poco, pero ahora no hablo mucho porque yo he olvidado muchas cosas, pero yo hablo poco.
Oh, you are smart.
Yo quiero
You
comer,
always
me
say,
gusta chorrito y patatas fritas y no me gusta café
"Oh
con
my
leche.
God."
Café con leche es una mierda, es una...
Okay, cafe con leche, milk and coffee. I got that.
Mhm. Chorizo
I
is a
speak Spanglish.
Spanish
I speak Spanglish.
sausage. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it's embarrassing. I should speak fluent Spanish because I live on pretty much on the borders of Mexico.
Yeah, but
And I'm German, Irish, English, Mexican, Spanish. I should speak something. I should speak another language. I remember my husband and
how
I
you
were on
know
vacation.
all? How you know what the nationality is you?
My mom's done our ancestry,
Ah,
And so
Oh.
I'm sure I'm more. And my dad used to always say I'm a Heinz 57. I mean, even my great grandfather, like on my dad's side, there's German, Mexican, Spanish. My mom's side, there's Irish, English, mostly, and Irish, English, maybe a little Scottish. I don't think I'm
So
any
you have
Asian.
Europeans.
Very, very much.
Yeah.
And I, if I'm quiet or I don't speak, because I used to work at a Lebanese restaurant, it didn't matter if I had my hair back because my hair's really dark. People thought before I spoke, they thought I was part of the family. Like
Yeah.
I could be Italian. I could look. I mean, and that's what
Yeah.
people have said to me.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
are
know.
very like changeable. Like you can, what is that word?
Yeah.
You can come here and be the Viking, Mandy Viking. Do you know what Viking?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Mandy
That would be
Viking
fun.
from the
Yeah.
Texas.
Or like a what is it? Um, Northern when we went to France, we went to where did we go? Netherlands. I loved it there. Like I feel like I could be because they're very tall. I'm 5'11". They're very tall. I'm like I probably have a
You are very tall.
little
Five. What is 5'11"? It's centimeters. It's
Oh, I've done that conversion, but I forget.
because I'm 100 and 160 centimeters, and that's
I think
quite
I'm
short.
179. I think I'm
Yes.
179.
Yes.
Hold on.
You are a
That's centimeters?
model tall. That's how the models are.
Yes, 5'11". The only thing with modeling, my nose is too wide. They used to say my nose is too big. I'm serious.
It's not.
When I went, they said I needed to thin my nose down.
Do you know?
And I used to put tape on it.
Do you know we were watching other day when I had the headache at the nighttime, and we were watching with Riku a TV show, and there was just that show that they make plastic surgery for the people who have like some issues, or some people just wanted to big boobs and stuff, and but one woman have really this kind of nose like when she born, and she was like really bullied and that, and I was just thinking that can be like really like it was really like the big nose or like it.
And then look at the mouth.
Yeah, but because
That's the
Riku always does this to me and say that he's doing that and say that I'm look like a angry Big who wants to kill everybody. Like he said that I'm like some horror movie. The
oh
I don't know
gosh.
what was that. And I'm always laughing that don't make fun of that. Something can happen for you. And sometimes I say that even that's not true, but if
Yeah.
that's real issue that some people have, like the all
Yeah.
kind of.
Oh,
So
I
then I
know.
of
I mean,
course
that's the thing.
understand the surgery. I understand the plastic surgery. Of course, if you have something
Right.
like
Right. I know. That's what's so unfortunate that somebody I would never have. Even like my boobs. I've never had. I don't have tattoos, no plastic surgeries. I'm probably
me
afraid to get it,
neither.
but I
I
just feel
wouldn't.
like I love me. I have certain things like my finger. I don't like that my finger's crooked. Like I have things, but it's like I love my finger because it's mine. But I grew up
Why do you
thinking,
not
maybe
like your fingers?
somebody said something. Somebody said my dad even. He goes, "I thought you broke your finger in a door
Ah,
because it's crooked right there." And I'm like, and they're very
yeah.
long. My fingers are very. That's just so sad in society. Like my nose is fine. It might be a
Yes.
little bit bigger, but I think sometimes the societal norms, especially we all know that, like the model industry and all that, that it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous. And the size, our size needs to
Mm-hmm.
be small,
Yeah.
and how we have these um, unrealistic expectations. And when people are so perfect,
Yeah.
like even that person, we're
Yeah.
human beings. But people judge. People naturally judge. I think when we made a video before, I said why we
Yeah.
judge about survival when people
Yeah.
are the
And in the
strongest.
kids do it too, like in the schools, like kids.
Yeah.
So
But I really do think we have certain judging instincts naturally for survival. If you
yeah.
want to get down to like the psychology of why, but
Yeah, you did
and but
say.
then a lot of it's what we're taught, and it's not fair and
Yeah.
unfortunate. But yeah, I do that. Oh, my hair's too thin, or my nose, or my chin. I used to get made fun of with my chin because it's like bulby. Kids are
Yeah.
so mean,
Kids are so mean. Yeah,
You're too
I
tall.
remember they make fun of me because it's called lauta when you have a small boobs. They say lauta. Lauta, it's like a flat. It's made no, it's
Oh,
not a
flat
flat.
chested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flat chest. But even in that age, I was still like in the maybe 11. So you don't have
Growing.
even
Yeah.
11. Some girls, okay, some girls have, but you shouldn't even have
Yeah.
big boobs probably in.
But
And
they
I
learn that. They learn that from somebody to say that,
yes.
to be mean. And
What is the in Finland, learning Swedish is mandatory in school, even though only 5% of our population is Swedish speaking. Yes, I made a DNA test, Annie said, and I'm half Moroccan, but I also have some Nepal, Niger, Spanish in me. Cool. So you
oh,
are,
well.
Annie said, 180 centimeters is probably how tall you are.
Oh, right. Because I said 179, and I am. What's funny though is
Annie
I'm
asked, I wanted to
5'10".
ask how long did Mandy recover? So do you want to ask?
Okay, I'll get to that. I'm 5'10" and 3/4. Like I'm this far away from 5'11", so I am like 179. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, good catch. If I said 5'11". I am five. I'm 4 years, almost 5 months, and I am so much more functional and doing so great. But I do believe my nervous system and is still recovering, and I do, especially on certain times of the cycle. And I also do believe what we talked about yesterday, all the behavioral stuff that's unraveling, because I was not my most authentic self for so many years. Um, but when it comes to like that intense anxiety and just scared and thinking I'm going to die in my sleep and all that stuff is gone.
Yeah. So you
So when
could
I say still,
able to work maybe some sort
oh, I
through.
could work if
Yeah.
I had to, but I
Yeah.
don't.
If you had to. Yeah.
Fortunately, I don't. I mean, I need to work. I want to work. That's my purpose. I just finished my college education.
Yes.
Um, I want to work, but I just am not right now. But I could. I totally could. And I have worked. I was doing massages again. And I am watching dogs. I get paid to do that. So I am making some money with that. So I would say when it comes to like the really intense stuff, that is, you would think I'm recovered. You would think we're recovered because we're, how
Yeah.
functional.
Yes.
I still don't feel like I could go run miles or something.
Me
I feel like
neither.
that would kind of weird me out, but I'm also kind of out of shape from the last 4 years. So,
Same. So out of shape.
but yeah, I can walk so much further, and that's a slow process. So I think if I just started to practice it, and so working and working out are like my next two
Yeah.
things I think are going to get better in the next year, and then we'll keep making videos in the next 6 months and year and just see that improvement.
Yeah. Yes. And even I also I think I could work in part time, but I also have this dream that maybe somehow I could work through the social media and then also to live the very miniature here in forest. That's have been my dream kind of before even this caffeine happened. It have been in my dream since I don't know in my 30s, 20s.
Yeah,
That just living in the forest and try to grow own food and that kind of stuff. So
very simple, natural life.
yeah, simple life. That's
I love that. My life's so much more simple now. I just feel like I have a calling to be like a counselor or something, but I've also been told that when I'm like 100%, that I'm not going to want to be in that. I'm going to want, it's like being in a bad relationship and getting abused that when you're done, you're done. Like you don't want to talk about it anymore. And what's interesting, because like my husband, I was talking yesterday about him going to a counselor. He's going to a drug and alcohol specialist who has his license and everything in that, which is what I kind of want to do. But the guy's on a ton of caffeine. Like he drinks, like he was even telling my husband, oh yeah, when I've had my seventh cup, I know that I can tell I'm a little bit different, like a little bit.
yeah.
And so, yeah, he's teaching my husband certain techniques and certain things to help him. Like he talks about, this is really good. He talks about fillers. So my husband's trying to quit alcohol, and my husband's actually truly like craves it. Not in what we talked about yesterday. We
Mm.
don't crave because of the way our nervous system,
Mm.
but he does. And so I think that's so much more, reprimandable. What's the word? Like respectful, because he's quitting before falling off the
Yeah.
mountain.
Yeah.
And But since he craves it, so this counselor is teaching him certain tools to help him cope. Like he said, fillers. So like what's a filler for us? Food, and going to the beach is one for me, going for nature walks. And to me, those fillers are like, oh, I was never taught that, but I naturally wanted things that raise my dopamine naturally. Because we're off of everything, and with time, we're naturally going towards the things that are what we crave, what we want. But I was never told that. But he's being told that because he's going, and that's this counselor's tools. But sometimes I think that certain counselors and people, most counselors are counselors because they had problems themselves, but he's still able to be in it for 27 years. Because I talked to him too, because he's on caffeine. I think he still has certain, I love this. He still has certain maybe triggers or certain things, but over the years, he's learned these coping skills to just help. We've talked about this
Yeah.
with other anxiety quitting channels where they just learn to help me how to say it. I wanted you to say it
Like
in your way.
adapt.
Learn to deal with the symptoms.
Yeah, deal with the symptoms. Live with the symptoms.
Learn
Like,
to like, okay, yeah, you have the symptoms, but we're going to learn how to just live with them and know that they're normal. And it's
yeah,
like,
accept. And it's always like those big anxiety channels that I was following too, but I don't follow them anymore because they are saying that you can have caffeine. They just say that
yeah,
you just like, what is that word? It's not just accepting, but uh responding, like how you respond to symptoms, like when they come, how you
right.
respond them, and but it's not gonna go to the root cause for some people.
Yeah. And I meant to say commendable, not reprimandable. I
Hi
knew I
Ben.
was saying it wrong.
Yeah, I will get water, Mandy, you can continue, but I read a few comments like, do you believe that men and women has heal differently during withdrawals? Is the duration different? As Cupid Star. Hi Petteri. Annie asks, I wonder if caffeine and amphetamine cause similar withdrawal due the both being stimulants. So you
Yeah,
can
I've
go
heard
with
that.
that.
I've heard, yeah, there was a guy, I'll start with that one first. There was a guy who has a sugar detox channel, and he was talking about how he was also talking about caffeine and how caffeine withdrawal is very similar to amphetamine withdrawal. And that caffeine acts like an amphetamine because it is a central nervous system, yeah, stimulant, like you said. And then what was Yuppie Stars? I can't remember what Yuppie Star said, and I don't have it up on my computer. But yeah, caffeine it's serious. It can really, really affect us in our nervous system. I need you, honey. Maybe I can get back to, especially because I can't read. Oh yeah, I forgot what you said about what Yuppie Star said. What did Yuppie Star say?
Yupister say that, do you believe that men and women heal
Oh
differently
yeah,
during withdrawal? Is the duration
thank you.
different?
I mean, I think it could be different, but I think if you fall up the mountain and get high anxiety, you're still going to have certain symptoms. It's still going to be hard. Um, I like to think that women go through it I'm not saying worse, I'm not trying to compare, but because of the hormone aspect in our periods, I do think it's pain in the butt, but that doesn't mean, because guys have hormones too. You
Yeah,
just have a 24-hour hormone cycle. Like men can get a woman pregnant every morning, every day,
yeah,
not just every morning, but every day. And a woman has a monthly, because we can only get pregnant in a window. So like,
yeah, ovulation.
men and women's hormones are during ovulation. Yeah. So men and women's hormones are different, but we all still have hormones. So I know many men who have fallen off the mountain and get the bad anxiety. It's really terrible. The duration, I think if you really fall off the mountain, I think it can be the same. I think it's just however your individual body. Oh, and here's something, however your individual body is going to heal. But here's something that we were talking about earlier when we were talking about when people get to 3 years and they're saying that they're completely recovered.
Mm-hmm.
we talked about this before, but I also wanted to mention how somebody can be at 3 years and they're doing so much better, but they're still recovering, and the things that they still might have don't bother them. So, but
Yeah.
like maybe me, it would bother me, So when I get to 3 years, I'm like, well, I'm still tired. And they're like, they're tired too, but the tiredness doesn't
It's
bother them for whatever reason.
or
But
it's
like for
nothing
me, it's the
like what
worst.
they went through. It's nothing like they went through so much shitty stuff that being tired they don't
Yeah,
mind anymore.
or it's other factors, it's just the way they were raised or their
Yeah.
personality or,
Yeah.
like, so you can use that with any symptom. Like you get to 3 years, they still have XYZ, you still have XYZ, but X didn't bother them, but X bothers you
Yeah.
worse, for whatever reason. So that's a way to look at it too, where it just kind of depends on like DPDR. It's so weird for me,
Yeah.
but it didn't bother me as bad as like the intrusive thoughts and the depression.
Yeah.
But I still had it. But I just was like, I can live with that. Maybe one day, hopefully it'll go away. Oh, one thing I love after my big wave, I was doing so much better that I started saying I could live like this. Because
Yeah.
in the waves, in the beginning
Yeah.
of the wave, and Cato talks about this, it's like, there's no way when you're that extreme that you could live your life
No.
like that for the rest of your life. And that's what scares you because you're like,
Yeah.
you think you're going to be stuck like that forever. You start saying, how am I supposed to do this for the
No.
rest of my life? It freaks
No.
you out,
Yeah.
but it's not forever.
Not. It's not
So
forever.
important to know that, even though it's lying to you
Yeah, it's
in the
lying.
moment,
Anxiety is lying.
the anxiety is lying. And so, yeah, it's just important to know that it's not forever. And yeah,
And I was just so
yeah,
scared that my brain wasn't never be normal. I was just somehow for
yeah,
me, okay, being tired it sucks. The fatigue sucked, pain sucked, everything sucked. But for me, I was just thinking that what if my brain doesn't heal? That what if I don't never be able to teach, or what if
yeah,
I never be able, like so much weird stuff. So that I was never normal. Now I can say that I can feel who I am. I know my personality is coming back, things that I love coming back. Somehow I feel that I'm in my 20s what comes to brain, early 20s, which is weird that I still think
me
that
too.
my prefrontal cortex is now actually improving. And that's where we come to dopamine, which I want to speak about with you. You know that dopamine stuff. It
Yeah,
is also control our movements, our impulsiveness, our
yeah.
behaviors, everything. Okay, so Tuula is also, hi Tuula. Okay, I'm gonna translate this.
Ah,
Tuula sanoi, moi, sanoin tänään lääkärille puhelimessa, että he eivät tiedä, miten kahvikofeiini lopetetaan ja että olen saanut apua muualta. Sanoin, että ihmettelen, miksi eivät he mainitse kahvin vaaroista. Okay, so Tuula have said today to doctor at the phone that doctors doesn't know how coffee and caffeine should be quit, and that she have get help from otherwise. And she said that she is wondering why the doctors doesn't mention how dangerous coffee is. Hyvä Tuula.
yeah.
Yes.
Either they don't know or um yeah.
Hyvä Tuula.
What do you want to say on that?
Yeah,
Because I know how
some
frustrating. I know
people,
how
some
frustrating it is.
doctors should know. They should know because the caffeineism is there in the, what is that, in the medical book. It's mentioned there.
Yeah.
But
Or they say just don't drink more than in the morning, or don't have more than 4 cups or more than 400 milligrams. Don't drink too much.
Yes,
They'll say.
they reduce caffeine. They just say that's poison. Like you should start slowly taper that if you have been using that long time.
Yeah.
But Andrea says that the anxiety is so hard. 53 days off though. Hi Andrea, yes, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I know it's so hard, but trust me, it's gonna go away. And Maya says hi.
Hello.
Happy to see you, Andrea, here and hear from you.
Exactly. I used to just tell myself, because it's so good to be off the drug, right? You got to go through it to get through it. I know how hard it is. And I would just put my hand on my chest and say, I'm free, I'm sober, because I'm also free from nicotine and alcohol, but I just say, I'm free, I'm healing, and I love you. Like I would tell myself that over and over again. And because it's so hard, but the alternative is going back on it or being on it or not knowing and now you're going to get to live, I don't know how old you are, but you get to live the rest of your life being off this drug. And yeah, you might have to go through this process, but it's so worth it. I can finally say that now. I remember I wanted to wait until I could say it's really worth it. It really is. It really is. Everyone's noticing in my life how much I'm changing. And I remember reading other people saying it's worth it. I'm like, how can somebody go through this and say it's worth it? That means
Me
it
too.
really must be worth it, you know? And I was like, I can't wait till I can really say it's worth it. And now I feel like I can,
Yeah. And
even if I'm still not
we were
100%.
Andrea, I don't know if that, I know this doesn't take the symptoms away whatever we say, but we were
Yeah.
a mess. Like the 6 months that I was there is no words. And in my somehow my survival, I don't know, it's weird how we survive. I just somehow, I was thinking that I'm gonna die every day, but I refused doctors. I was either, okay, let's see, Anni, either I'm gonna stay alive or I'm gonna die, because I didn't have any information. I thought that my brain is gonna have a big tumor or something
Yeah.
like. But now with this information, you will heal. You will heal. It's anxiety. It's
You will. You will.
it's no any, like, people heal. So many of us have gone through this. It's just the beginning is just, it sucks, but it will get better.
Yeah. Something Kato used to tell me a while back when I would have a moment, because they were just moments, you know, you go through waves and they're weeks or months, and then now or months ago, it'd be moments, right? And I would just be like, oh, I'd be so frustrated. And he would always say, he never freaked out or like, oh, Mandy, I'm so sorry. I feel so sorry for you. I'm so bad. I feel so bad that you're going through this. He would never do that. He's like, I don't feel sorry for you because I know your outcome. And that always gave me so much reassurance, because he's like, there's no doubt that you're getting better. He's like, look at how far you've come already, which is something I used to always say, focus on the improvements. And I know when you're in the beginning, it's hard because you're like, I'm so much in the beginning, but what I said, you're free. Like yes, you're 50 for whatever days you said, but that is a lot of days that somebody else isn't. That's that, you know, you're in the beginning stages, yes, but you have quit, and we all started at that spot.
Yes. And
Yeah.
yeah, Annie said, I met only one doctor who was genuinely happy on my behalf and congratulated me. I meant so much to me. It meant so much to me that I was in tears. Yes, and Andrea
Yeah.
say, I only got maybe 30% better reinstating caffeine. I still had major symptoms. Yes. So
Yeah.
yes, you did. I remember, did you did reinstate it before, but now you are completely free. Or
It's so good.
yeah, it
Yeah. And
does,
sometimes we have to,
reinstating doesn't work usually.
right. Yeah, it
It's
might calm it down a little bit for some people, because the drug's like, oh, you know, the brain's like, oh, okay, good, there's the drug. But if you've really fallen off the mountain, yeah, you can't, because the nervous system's like, no more. I mean, the body is literally telling you it's time to heal, like it's time to be done with this toxic poison.
yeah. I think it's called
So
rebound, Andrea, on a great reason
it's a
not to
good thing.
reinstate. It's also kind of a closest the back door, but think it in a
Rebound effect.
way
Yeah.
that you can only go towards healing. And Peter says, did the Goo man wrote that the women are suffering worse with the caffeine withdrawals? No, but the thing that man who have really good blog in Finnish Mantokari, who speak about, he mostly speak about caffeineism and how caffeine toxins restored in body, but the thing that me and Mandy are sharing this information is so important, because nobody speaks, not even Stephen Chernisk in the book knows about these post-acute withdrawals and falling off the mountain, which not everyone is going through. But those who
Right.
goes are here what we are doing this for. So those who have high anxiety, major anxiety, falling off the mountain anxiety, suicidal, panic, some people are really suicidal all the time. So that's why in my Discord, I never say that I always say that if things go too bad, you have to go to the doctor. So
Yeah.
I think nobody really put this kind of information out that you and me are putting for like, it's a difference. Like some people don't have even long withdrawals. Then it can be like headaches, fatigue, little bit tiredness. You are able to work, but then others is really
If you
really
can
hard.
find one person to help you when you're having that depression so bad, that anhedonia where your brain's telling you how are you supposed to do this? You feel so bad. Like, how are you supposed to keep living? That's where the suicidal was for me. I couldn't even say it. I had to say the S word. I couldn't
Yes,
even
yeah.
say it
It's
because I
too
wanted to
scary to say
list.
suicide. It's too scary to say suicidal when I was
Oh, I
suicidal.
hated it
I don't know
because
what.
I thought it was gonna. I thought it because I knew I had to stay strong and I knew I wasn't going to do anything. But my anxiety would get so, because that's what it does. It strips us from our center. It strips us from who we are, and it tries to scare us and rob us of our sanity because it's trying to win because it thinks it's, hey, I'm here to keep you safe, but it gets all out of whack and everything because of the high stress. But what was I saying? Because I was going on. It's there for a reason. But when you have the really bad suicidal thoughts, it can be so scary because, like, for me, it wasn't even that. I would tell people, like, when I was talking with you, Ani, I would say, like, I don't want to, I want to be here, but it feels so bad. You think,
Mm-hmm.
how am I supposed to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just talk to you, I would
Mm-hmm.
just talk, and I knew it was going to pass. But in the moment, I didn't think that's
Yeah,
what we were saying earlier. I just didn't think that it was going to pass. I
yeah.
didn't,
But it did, and it will
but it
tell
did.
you, oh,
And
he did.
it's scary because, yeah, it's just,
Its
that's a dark
anxiety
place.
lies
That's a
so much because of you like, now your body is just, the first thing is to keeping you just safe. Nothing else is
Yeah. And
happening.
when you realize that's really what it is to keep you grounded, it's to keep you safe. It makes it a little bit easier, but that was probably the scariest place for me because, yeah, that's what I was saying, that it would, like, sneak in and say, almost like the S word, was, the suicide was going to, like, find me or attack me, even though I knew I wasn't
Yes,
going to do
yeah,
anything. It was like sneaking in, like, okay, it's going to happen in your sleep, or
yeah. Going
something's going to happen to
crazy,
you. You're
harm
going to go
you,
crazy. You're going to lose your mind and do
harm
it. Yeah.
yourself, harm
You're
others,
going to
all
harm
kind of.
yourself by, like, just losing it. Yeah. It was
Mm.
so awful. And it makes me feel, talking about it even now. That's why I
Yeah,
got a little sidetracked. Like,
yeah.
it
We don't
really
have to
is
talk
so bad.
about it. Tula
Yeah.
said,
And I bet, yeah.
okay, so Tula says doctors say that they have their own kehys, or like own plan, how they work, and doctors say that he knows humans who can go to sleep after evening coffee. Okay.
Well,
Cool.
so can my uncle. And
Yeah,
guess
nice.
what? He has dementia. He can drink
Yeah.
his coffee at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
What kind of
And it's because,
information that is, even that you can go even after heroin, you can go sleeping. You can go sleeping after, like some people can. Like, what kind of information is that
yeah,
you
it's not
can
something
go
to
sleep?
brag about. It's not something to brag about.
What the hell?
Right?
Yeah,
But people do.
Kehys
People
is
brag about
frame.
it.
Yeah, they have some kind of frame. Thank you, Petteri. Um, and
Yeah.
like you say, doctor can give assurance. Assurance. Yes, in that case, yeah, yeah. Then in that case, if you are like really really bad, for some people it helps when you go to the doctor and take all the tests and the MRIs. For some people, like you went to doctor in the beginning. I didn't, because I couldn't leave the house
Right.
and I was too scared. But it can give you reassurance in that horror state that you take all the tests and they kind of come back to normal.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying when my husband was like, you should just go to the doctor every day because they're telling you it's just
Some
anxiety.
people go doctor every day, many months. They get MRIs, CT scans, tons of
That was
blood
me.
tests, And how many
I don't know how
euros
I
you
did it.
spend? It's expend. You have insurance,
Yeah, well, I
but
mean, with the white coat doctors with insurance, a lot of money because I had a colonoscopy. I forgot to mention that.
yeah.
All came back fine. $7,000 on my own money.
Oh my goodness. And you said that insurance is only the big pharma doctors that,
Right.
but with the alternative, you pay it on your own.
Yeah, I had to pay
So
out of pocket, and I really thought that they were going to tell me, like, just what I know now compared to what I knew then. I really thought I was going to find the answers and something was wrong, wrong with me. And like now that I know what I know now, that it's just the body was under stress and that it has to go through the healing because of the allostatic load that we've talked about before many times. Just knowing all that now, but then you get to a place where you're better and you just know it's part of the process, and then you don't even care about the information anymore because it's like mute. Because even knowing all of this stuff, it doesn't help the symptoms go away. You still have to get
yeah,
through the day. You still have to experience it. You still have to just
mm,
wait for your brain to do its
yeah,
process
brain to do
and
it.
your
Mm.
hormones. Yeah, and all the systems that have been out of whack. So
Better,
I think for some people who maybe have been on the substances and their body was really malnourished and out of whack, it might take a little bit longer than like somebody that just fell off the mountain and they're healthy. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. We don't know. There are rehabilitation clinics in Finland, but not for caffeine. Yes, not for caffeine. Normal doctors do not understand
Right.
much about this addiction. No, they don't. And Andrea say, I can't leave, screaming panic. Yes, that was where I was. I completely understand. That's why it took me the 15 months to check myself, kind of. And maybe I could have gone, but I was just so uncomfortable. I was so scared. Because the pandemic, how I call it, started. So I was so scared that because I wasn't mentally, I was a mess. So I was scared that maybe if they're gonna try to inject, I thought that they're gonna inject. That was some of the intrusive thoughts. But because I'm so scared of vaccines, I thought that maybe if they're gonna inject me something, so I just say no
Oh
doctors for
wow.
me. But
Yeah.
I do understand that how you feel when it's too uncomfortable sitting in the waiting room, even waiting on the doctors. I know anxiety makes that because I didn't
Yeah.
even go dentist at 2 years.
Oh,
Then I check. I don't have cavities, thank God. But I went to the dentist. I said I have high anxiety. I have panic. Just check my teeth. Don't do nothing. No, no, nothing. He was just completely messed. They look like what the crazy person.
I,
But now I can
yeah.
laugh. But it wasn't funny at that moment. It wasn't.
Well, I went to the dentist because I thought that I was having my symptoms because of my root canal. And that's where my anxiety took me for a minute. So I'm sitting at the dentist office, like panicking. I feel like I'm going to faint in the chair. The doctor's trying to talk to me. I was so low dopamine. Like I couldn't even, he was talking and I'm going, I couldn't understand what he was saying. And I didn't care. Like I was like, why
Yeah.
am I even here? I was like, I don't even care about my teeth, because I was so
Yes.
flat. I was like,
Yes.
everything he's saying to me is like wah wah wah. Like I had never
Yeah.
felt that way before. I was like, I don't understand what he's saying, and like none of this makes sense to me. Because I used to ask my husband, why are we here? Like, what is this for? Why are we here? And he goes, to live. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, it was so low dopamine,
Yeah.
but because I thought it was my root canal that was making me crazy, I felt like that was where my push was. Like I was so determined to figure out what was wrong with me. Like it gave me some bit of boost to get to the doctor. I don't know how.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I went to him. I went to another dentist. I went to the one who did my root canal originally. I went back to him, and I'm like sitting in the chair, just like freaking out. Yeah, they probably thought I was on drugs.
Yeah. But it's just, that's how we
It's just
survive.
withdrawal. It's
Yeah.
just the
Withdrawal.
beginning stages of withdrawal.
How does the, yeah, so by the
Rewiring.
way, sorry, Tula, also that you have to experience that kind of feedback from the
Yes.
doctor. You are doing amazing work, Tula. Just I'm so
Yes.
happy, and Happy to always see you here, Tula. You have been following us quite some time. Andrea says, yes, it's overstimulating. Yes, that's what it is, overstimulating to go anywhere. Petteri says, here in Finland, medical doctors luckily understand something about opiates and benzos because they describe those poisons to patients and play as responsible professionals. Yeah.
Thank goodness there is so much more information in just the last few years that is coming out about benzos and opioids.
Alcohol too. There is many clinics for alcoholism and other
because there wasn't with benzos. People were they were getting gaslit, and now finally they're getting more. It must be really nice. They still have to go through the symptoms and go through the time and do all that, but just to have that, what we're talking about, just for them to say this is a normal part of the healing process. And there's even still benzo channels that still that they get it, but they still don't quite get that it's just part of the process. And I mean, they get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're on caffeine.
Many benzo quitters, but
it's like they get certain stuff, but they're missing like a little bit of, they're talking about doing different programs when it's just time. I mean, maybe that's something to do to kind of let the time pass. It's like talking to a therapist, because or making videos, or
whatever helps them, like
watching videos. Exactly.
Anivan, withdrawal destroyed my teeth mostly because paroxysm, if I say that. Take a good care of your teeth in withdrawal. Yes, I did the benzo journey 12 years ago, says Andrea. Hi, Sauna Patri. Yeah, I think anxiety make my teeth like, I was like, I don't know what is cringing my teeth, and I had teeth pain in withdrawal, which I never had, and it was weird.
Me too.
Do you remember in my way, Mandy, I said to you that I have so weird pain in my teeth that I have to go, and then I went and it was nothing, and I said, wow, this is anxiety. Yeah, I went to the dentist because of anxiety. It's so bad. Yeah. It was so bad.
I would get it in my tooth during my period, and then it would go away. And I'm like, that's healing stuff. That inflammation, that pain, or it wasn't even a pain, it was like a pressure.
But it feels real in that moment when you are on it.
It does.
So
it really does.
Yeah, we have been almost doing 2 hours. You have.
Wow.
We can start to wrap it up. Do you have any other questions? Still, there is 12 people. Let's take the last comments. But you're gonna all be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Absolutely. Sometimes I think people, like, caffeine is sometimes the last drug to quit for some people, like they were on benzos before and they got off of that, or they did alcohol. I used to see a lot of that in the quitting caffeine group, where people are like, I quit alcohol 20 years ago and I quit this, and caffeine was my last vice, because it is so socially acceptable. And it's just that drug that, man, can really affect people. I used to grind my teeth on caffeine a lot more, even though I did have some pain and withdrawal. I was very tense, a lot of tension.
Yeah, Petteri said.
Let me show you the doggy.
Yeah, show the doggy. Petteri said, years ago I had a heart film because of heavy coffee drinking. The advice was that you should not every day drink 5 cups a day. They sent me home with the bill in hand and said good luck. Yep.
What was that? I couldn't hear.
So Petteri said that years ago I had a heart film because of heavy coffee drinking. Their advice was that you should not every day drink 5 cups a day. They sent me home with the bill in hand and said good luck.
Yeah, they don't say quit or wean. They're like, just don't do 5 cups.
Like, that's gonna solve the problem. Hey, doggy. Hey, Schnauzer.
This is Abby.
Hi.
Yeah, she's a good girl. This is my in-laws' Schnauzer, and they're on vacation. They were on a cruise. She doesn't have her ears. So my Bella, who passed away 2 years ago, my beloved Bella, she had her ears. She had her little ears. But Abby's had her ears clipped.
Aww. She's
Because
so
she's a Rudaheim. She's a Rudaheim Schnauzer.
rude. It's just so lovely.
I think that's what they're called. They're more stocky. Bella was a little bit more Gumby. She was a little bit more like, these are very like stocky, almost like bulldog type schnauzers.
Yes.
She's very muscular and very stout.
How many times you have to take it to the out?
To pee pee,
Yeah.
she poopies 3 times a day, but we like to take her for walks and just take her,
Yes.
5, 6 pee-pees a day,
Yeah.
7, I don't know. She
Yeah.
doesn't drink as much water as Bella did. Bella drank a lot of water,
Yeah.
but she's
Dogs
really
just like
easy.
to they like to pee also to make that's their like mark.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like she'll do like when we're out, she'll make 15 little piddly pee-pees just to mark. Yeah.
Okay,
Smell all the
how cute
smells.
doggo, says Annie. And Sauna Patriot said, I'm 2 months short of 10 years without alcohol. Next, a cigarette and then coffee. Yes,
Yep.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Very
Very
nice.
good.
Hyvä Sauna Patriot, yes. Hienoa työtä.
Yeah, that's how it goes. People just start to wake up.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of all of you. Like it's just you do where like you all like do in your own face.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
it's so good.
I mean, knowing what we know now, wouldn't it have been so cool if we knew this in our teens, but it took till our almost 40s.
Yeah, it would have been nice not to fall off the mountain, I would say, but
Yeah.
but I'm kind of glad now that we did, as horrible as it was, because now at least I know one thing. I don't know anything that could be as bad, and
Yeah.
that if you survive that kind of bad, it makes you kind of like nothing is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to have the bad to have the good.
Yes, I can appreciate the little things now so much more.
So true. So true.
But thank you, Mandy. This was good live.
Thank you.
And thank you all the watchers and from all the comments. And you can put the topics that you would like to us to do live, because we can now speak about in the future other topics too. Mandy, you know a lot of all kind of stuff. You are very smart. You know about the trauma. You know about the nervous system. You know about the woman's health. It's one what people have been asking. Like the hormones better than me. So there's many things.
Do we still have a moment? Or is anybody else saying anything?
Petteri says that if man drinks 5 bottles of beer every day and getting heart-related symptoms, will they send him just home and say good luck? Yeah,
right.
They won't. That's true.
Right.
They won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a moment.
Hopefully one day, because I know this was brought up earlier, there will be more awareness about caffeine, but yeah, we just have to we all know, so.
Go ahead. What were you planning to say?
Well, yeah, so yesterday we were talking about the precursor of dopamine, or the precursor of adrenaline, the precursor of cortisol.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to say that, somebody will be like, okay, well, why do you have low dopamine? Or like, why do you have, how did I want to say this? Like, I guess some healthcare professionals or some people in the health field, it's all about like, okay, yeah, your hormones are off or your neurotransmitters are off, which most people don't talk about neurotransmitters, which is the dopamine, and then the hormones like progesterone. But you'll hear people talk about like diet and things and exercise, and they'll talk about like, okay, we got to get your estrogen right and your progesterone right. And it's like, okay, there's all these videos about like dopamine detox and things like that. But no one's really talking about, okay, why are you high adrenaline and why are you high cortisol? For whatever reason, caffeine's a very underestimated reason, but stress and traumas and stress being, and the nervous system getting excited is the main reason. But like, okay, but then why? Like, let's get to the root cause, and like, let's work on that. And then the progesterone and the estrogen will balance. And then the dopamine and the
Yeah.
serotonin and the GABA will all balance. So it's like really understanding the true way to kind of figure it all out,
Yeah, they
I
are
think
like a, they
is
are
really
like,
cool.
it's a, like a wrong, the big
Yeah,
pharma and everything, it's a like a wrong way to look at this, at the symptoms.
right.
They wanna
Yeah,
quick fix this, a little this, a little this, when you go to the
yeah.
doctor, and not like, okay, we're gonna solve this symptom and everyone else will, you get out of the poisons and everything will get like solved out, kind of.
Yeah, and I think if people are young and they're starting to have problems or starting to kind of see some things or experience some things, and then they go to the doctor and then they work on some stuff. They might work on their diet, but they're not cutting out caffeine, and they're working on stuff, and then they feel a little bit better because they're young and they haven't fallen off the mountain or whatever reason. But they still really, so they think that they're better, and because they are doing a little bit better, but they still really haven't figured it out. And then later in life, maybe they will, like us. So yeah, it's just there's just like this missing piece of information out there because it is all of, like the pharmaceutical and the money and all that. It's like never
Yeah.
going to really be the root cause. And there's other, I say root cause, and that's a very big term and
Mm.
used in the more alternative medicines and like chiropractic work and things. But even still, they're not really, they're saying root cause because that sounds like a really good thing, but they're not really
Yeah.
getting to all of it.
Yeah. So good. Thank
Like,
you.
what's the guy, Gabba Mate? He talks a lot about the trauma
Mm.
aspect and
Yes.
childhood trauma. And then, so there's all these like different things that are really cool, but I think that we tie, and I would love if I knew if somebody wants to add more to it, but I love that we tie all of it, like the nervous system, the trauma aspect,
Mm.
the addiction, the caffeine aspect, the recovery aspect,
Mm.
hormones, neurotransmitters, how long it takes, the rewiring. It's like we're putting it, I feel like we have put it all together.
Yeah.
And I do want to, I kind of want to go back and get my master's for counseling, but I'm kind of like, hey, I think I could just be a health and wellness coach. I don't have to call myself certified,
But you are
but
so
I want
smart.
to help people.
You can do that if you want. Like even not
And it's just,
now, later too.
I mean, I feel like I'm smarter, what we talked about yesterday than
Mm.
what I thought I was because of caffeine, but I feel like it's just what I went through,
Mm.
it's like I was determined. But then again, am I really going to want to talk about all this when I'm more recovered? Or
Mhm.
because that's what I was saying about that counselor. Like he's able to talk about this every day because he's still on that
Yeah.
7 quality.
Yes. He's on
But
caffeine,
because
kind of.
I'm completely free, am I going to want to talk about it in the next year, 2, 3 years and more? I don't
I
know.
don't
But
want
it
all
isn't.
the time. I wanna exercise. I wanna teach sport,
Yeah,
and like sometimes I wanna speak about, but not all the time. Like
not all the time. But that's why I want to have like a stress management clinic because we can do the working out with
yeah,
that. I've been a massage therapist for 21 years. That's stress management. You can do that. Yoga,
I
whatever
don't know,
workout that.
but yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why
Yeah.
we're stretching or certain
Exactly.
poses, but
Yeah.
not the praying to
Yeah.
the, yeah, because we're Christian, but certain modalities that are for the health, the stress reduction, and that is preventative. It's not necessarily always talking about this.
Yeah.
I definitely want to have that preventative side to help people, but a lot of the time people don't want it until they really need it.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, because what were we talking about earlier? If we would have known this when we were teenagers, would we have really listened? If somebody said like, "Oh, you're going to fall off the mountain, maybe, and you're going to feel this and this and that," you're going to be like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
No, with this personality, maybe not. But I still would have appreciate that those healthcare
Yeah,
professionals would have this information.
that there needs to be more, and I'm glad that we're here to at least say what we have learned. Do we know it all? No, but we have put some puzzle of the puzzle
Mm.
together, pieces of the puzzle together.
We have
I think
learned
we're
on
onto
the way,
something.
people remember that not everything have been
Yeah. Oh,
teach from the
totally.
school. Not every information.
Clue. My first 4 months, 5 months, like I said, I was clueless. I didn't even know caffeine was a drug, really. Or I knew it was a drug, but I was like, it's a safe drug. It's a good drug. It's not like
Yeah.
alcohol and
Yeah, me too.
heroin.
Somebody said me like I was snacking from the weed. They said, "Yeah, but Annie, you are drinking coffee. That's a drug too." No, how can you say that? That's coffee. It's not a drug. It's like everybody uses. I didn't know nothing. Didn't know anything.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I loved it. I used to put on Facebook with my mom because my mom and I would wake up and I'd put whipped cream in my coffee and I would like post it on Facebook. I had this post like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Mommies make the best coffee.
Yeah, I have always taken pictures of me
Who
with
knew?
coffee, like ha ha. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we
So
didn't know. Nobody knows,
we
pretty
didn't
much.
know, but we know now.
Yeah. So Manny says dopamine. Do all coffee drinkers look for a dopamine hit when they consume caffeine? Ask Manny and Petteri. They are honest. Most people drink coffee for a withdrawal symptoms of caffeine. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
get
because you're
sick if
waking
they
up in the
don't get it.
morning, you're
Mm-hmm.
tired, you're feeling low, and then you have it, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to kind of do a little bit of this day. Yeah, you're literally drinking it so you don't withdraw. Yeah.
I was drinking. I was drinking
Headaches.
it that I was able to work as much as I could want. Even I was tired in the morning. I could have my coffee and okay, fine, let's go.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to
Yeah.
my body.
Nope.
But
Yeah.
lying to yourself, very popular. Yes. Okay, now we're gonna wrap it up. So
Very popular.
thank you all, and Mandy, this was really good. I'm appreciating everything that you have, the information, and I think my viewers will really much enjoy these lives too, and I hope.
Love it.
So thank you for everyone, and we're gonna see
My
again.
pleasure. Okay.
And put the
Bye,
topics
everyone.
under. Comment what topics would you like to hear under this video.
Yeah, and while I have time right now before I start working, I'll do it. I
Yeah.
love it until I'm working and busy.
Yes, when we are busy, we are not gonna do